To my fellow African diaspora, all week, many of you have called and wanted to know if I was going to give a statement pertaining to George Floyd in Minneapolis. I struggled to give a statement, and every time I could not finish the statement without breaking down. I do hope that I can finish this statement before breaking down. We have all watched in horror the videos pertaining to George Floyd pinned down against the concrete with the knee of a Minneapolis police officer on his neck. We watched in horror George Floyd pleading for the police officer to let go, calling for his late mama, telling the world that he was going to die, telling the world that he cannot breathe. For over 9 minutes, the police officer did not let go. Even after the police officer had been told that George no longer had a pulse, he still kept his knee on George's neck for another 3 minutes. Clearly, he meant to kill him. As a mother, as a grandmother, I feel hopeless. I feel defeated. I am exhausted. I am tired. How many more children are we going to watch as they get murdered in broad daylight? How many more black men and women are we going to watch as they get assassinated? As I sit back and try to make sense out of all these senseless killings of black men, I wonder, what crime have we, the black race, committed against the white race? Why are some elements of the white race so hateful of black people? I have lived in this country for many years. I came to this country precisely because of the profound positive image and effect my fellow Peace Corps teachers had on me. These Peace Corps teachers were Americans, white Americans. These were Americans who let us believe that there actually could be white people on earth, because growing up in Zimbabwe, white people were not good to us during apartheid. So it was refreshing to have white American teachers who treated us like human beings. Teachers who would invite us to their homes for afternoon tea. Teachers who would come with us to our villages and sit cross-legged and we could eat from the same bowl on a mud floor. Teachers would get up in the morning with us and we'll go fetch firewood to make fire for the morning tea. Teachers would go to the well to fetch water and carry the buckets of water on our heads. Those are the Americans I know. Those are the white Americans that made me decide when I grew up I was going to go wherever those white people came from, because they were good white people. Luck as it might have it, I did end up having an opportunity to come meet and visit the country where those beautiful white people came from. And over the years that I've resided in this country, I have met many of them. Many of them remain my friends to this very day, which is why I'm saddened every time we hear another story of yet another black man, black woman being murdered. Majority in the hands of those who are supposed to protect us, the policemen, who sits on another man's neck for over 9 minutes and strangle them to death and think nothing of it. I watched the video with policeman with hands in his pocket looking just as comfortable as he could be and thought nothing of it as he murdered George Floyd. What kind of a human being is that? What makes a human being regress to that level? You see, the devil is not a black being that they tried to make us believe. Somebody who can behave in the manner in which that police officer behaved while murdering George Floyd. That's the personification of a devil. And we must call him for what he is. As I try to understand why is it that we black people are the most disrespected race on earth, I couldn't help but find myself going back to the history. As black people, we are not only disrespected in the Americas or anywhere else on earth, we are also even disrespected on the continent of Africa. And that history goes back to colonization and the settlers. While we apologize for having sold our children into slavery 400 years ago, and part of it, a lot of it had to do with our ignorance of what conditions our children were being subjected to as they were transported across the Atlantic. They were transported under some very difficult conditions, and even with all those difficult conditions, the black race still rose. They made it to the Americas. They were subjected to some of the most horrendous treatments on the plantations. And still, they survived. From the lynchings, to the beatings, to the discrimination in the workforce, to the denial of economic opportunities, still, the children of Africa in the Americas rose. Every possible way to eliminate the black race has been attempted. And still, the black race rises. After everything else has failed, those bad elements within the white race have just now finally decided we will just murder them in broad daylight. And that's exactly what we are saying. But to those elements of the white race who do not believe black people belong here, I have news for you. Black people belong in the Americas just like the rest of the white race belong in the Americas. Learn from the history. The black race is indestructible. Black people belong in America just like the white people do. I refuse to subscribe to the notion that all white people are bad. I disagree with that completely. My experience with white people has been different. While I have met a lot of bad ones, I have also met many, many more who are good white people and they mean well for humanity. To those who choose to discriminate against black people, I have news for you. Not only are you doing a disservice to your own children, grandchildren, and generations of white people to come, you're also doing a serious disservice to humanity in general. White little girls and black little girls in the Americas or in Africa combined or anywhere else on earth for that matter, they deserve to enjoy their earth to the fullest extent, without any boundaries, without any hate, because this world belongs to them. So when you deny our children the freedom to love each other and live wherever they choose, when you deny our children, regardless of their skin color, the ability to be who they are and enjoy earth to its fullest extent, you are doing a serious disservice to humanity. So to those racist elements within the white society, I urge you to learn from the scriptures. When the children of Israel needed to be set free, your day of reckoning is coming. We urge you to repent. Your wishes and desires to eliminate black people from the face of the earth will not succeed. So just, the sooner you wake up and understand that the black race is not going anywhere, the better off you're going to be. And if you don't do it for yourself, do it for your children and your generations to come. Why? Because they deserve better. They deserve better. To those elements of the white race who believe in equality, who believe in the fact that this world is for us to be enjoyed, we thank you for standing up and joining those who were wanting to have their voices heard and saying enough is enough. Discrimination has no place, not only in the Americas, but on earth. To those people in the white race who believe that black people belong here just like they do, we appreciate you joining us and sending a resounding message to the world, not only in the Americas, but around the globe, that this world belongs to all of us. And that everybody, every human being on earth has a right to be here. Let's join hands and send a resounding message to the racist elements of the white race that bigotry, racism, and hate have no place, not only in the Americas, but in the world. And together, united as black people, united as white people, we will join hands and we will defeat these bad elements within the white race who believe in white supremacy, who believe in hate. To them I say, contrary to what we may have been taught, the devil is not black. You, the racist elements within the white race, you are the personification of the devil incarnate. Repent, for your day of reckoning is coming. Allow me to conclude by offering my condolences to the family members of those black men and women who lost their lives in the hands of those who are supposed to protect us on the streets, the policemen. Allow me also to offer my condolences to the family members of those black men and women who lost their lives in the hands of the racist elements of the white race. May their souls rest in eternal peace. To Arikana, to Alton Sterling, to Philando Castile, to Michael Brown, to Tamir Rice, to Sandra Bland, to Ahmaud Arbery, to George Floyd, and the many others, black men and women who have lost their lives because of the racist elements within the white race. We want you to know that your deaths were not in vain, that those of us who stay behind are going to fight until every black man and woman on earth is free. You deserve to be in this country, the United States of America, and anywhere else where you choose to be. In the United States of America, the black man belongs here to the same extent that the white man belongs here. When it's all said and done, the black people and the white people are all immigrants. The real owners of this land are the Native American Indians. So let's make no mistake about it. The black people belong here to the same extent that white people belong to this country. President Trump, the President of the United States of America, to the Governor of Minnesota, to the Mayor of Minneapolis, to the Governor of Georgia, we're counting on all of you to do the right thing. Justice must prevail. I thank you.